Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. I'm P. Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, as always, is my partner in crime, one and only, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. We are here, gathered once again to talk about East Asian pop culture. As of course we talk, we start every episode. We start with what's new. Kaz, what's new with us? Maybe a little convention we just attended.
I'm tired. Oh God, no. So, we very much recently. I mean, like, we're not gonna act like we haven't talked about it for like the past 4 or 5 shows, but we went to Anime Central down there in the good old Chicago, Illinois. We had us a very well time. We had us a very well time. Yeah, we had us a very well time.
Yes,
new
exactly.
lingo for you out there. We came, we saw, we conquered, more or less. I got a lot of work done. We got hats, whole fucking hats. I got a sad ass rabbit.
I got pajamas.
Pedro got some kigurumi or some footy pajamas, as some people like to call them, but they don't have the feet on them, so
yeah,
that's why they're not footy pajamas. We bought a bunch of shit over at the K-pop booth, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later.
I'll have the video. We have like the video we shot of my haul, and I'll go ahead and put that up there, including what we saw at the video booth. It's going to be some really cool stuff. I just got to get together and actually edit it and whatnot. But we had fun.
But we had a lot of fun. We hung out at the K-pop booth, we made new friends, we did a lot of cool shit, and then new music dropped while we were gone. Mm-hmm. So
yes,
I guess we have to talk about that.
Yeah, some new tunes. What do you got? What caught your attention this week?
So, first, this kind of dropped right before we left. So we didn't get a chance to like kind of properly talk about it. But Monster X, for those in the know, of the formed group from what was the show?
No Mercy.
No Mercy, finally has been, starting their promotions, putting out songs, doing all that kind of stuff. This is one of their first, called Trespass. It's I didn't like the video at first, but kind of the more I watched it, the more I looked at it, the more I realized it's very much their style. Like it's very much kind of right in their wheelhouse of like the types of things that they would do. It fits with a lot of the things that they did during the show, like kind of style wise. And I don't know, I like the song overall. I'm still not sold on the video. It's a lot of stuff going on in the video.
There's a lot of posturing, and there's a lot of like kind of dumb moments. It's like, I got this gun. Ah! I'm doing parkour in this hallway where there's absolutely no reason for me to be doing parkour. It would probably be a lot easier if I just ran straight down the hallway. But I'm gonna hang on this pipe and swing on it and do a flip and shit.
You gotta show off, man. You gotta show off those skills. Yeah, I'm gonna call them skills.
I think if there was a lot of moments and a lot of the feel of this, that if it was played as a straight comedy, it would be fine. But because it was just an odd, like, is this supposed to be funny or is this supposed to be cool? Are they supposed to seem, hardcore? Like,
I think it's a little bit of everything, right? I think it's a video that doesn't know its own pathing, right? Because there's supposed to be the sexy, there's supposed to be the hard, there's supposed to be the funny, but it's not melded very well.
Yeah.
It kind of is a little bit all over the place, and it kind of goes from this, kind of whirlwind of putting this group together and maybe not having a super clear path, because there was no way they were gonna, essentially know who was all gonna be in the group, and the kind of visual appeal of the characters or personality that they were gonna have. So as they kind of settle in, I think we're gonna get a lot more cool kind of visualizations and videos. But their music so far has a very clear path, and it works well together, and that just goes from constantly having to perform, constantly doing these things, and most of them having been in the business for a while. So I think I look forward to what's going to come from Monster X.
Yes. But what else you got, Kaz?
So what else I have is something that you wouldn't normally expect to get from me. I got a Girls' Day song for everyone out there. Hello Bubble by the girls from Girls' Day. I don't know, it just kind of caught my attention. It was fun. I don't want to just say kind of fun, silly, irrelevant, but it kind of is fun, silly, irrelevant. Like, it just is like really fun, really bubbly. Kind of pop song, very much the Girls' Day kind of style, and I kind of like the color and visualization of the video,
especially the hair colors that were dyed with the Hello Bubble hair color brand that they were selling in this video. Because this is a really like this is like following up Orange Caramel's "A Bing a Bing," which is for Baskin Robbins, and that same night this is for a project single, which is for Hello Bubble hair colors. And then they just, hey, let's put a cute song together about Hello Bubble. You changed me, made me more beautiful. I like you so much. It's just their tribute to their favorite hair coloring.
And I mean, that's why I'm kind of not like, oh, the song is awesome. It's a commercial. The song's still fun, but it's not their best showing,
Yeah.
But I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. It worked well. And it involves doing Hyeri doing silly cute stuff like that. But yeah, last but not least.
So last on my list is I'm gonna have trouble with this young lady's name, but Kim Bo-young. Tablet. Which kind of, when this video starts, you assume it to be a lot darker, but it has a lot kind of more of a poppy rock feel to it than I expected from kind of when I first hit play on it. But goddamn, if it's not a good fun song. And I kind of liked it overall. I liked how kind of more bright it was than dark it was, in kind of its inception of what you're thinking it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I don't know a lot about her. No. I must admit, I don't. There's not much I have ever heard from her before, but I enjoyed what I heard, and I kind of want to hear more.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with her, but from the persona in this video, I guess with the short hair, I guess I would be inclined to think she's kind of a Pink-esque character, Pink-esque style, with that like rock influenced, singer-songwriter, just pop singer, but with kind of a slight edge, with an edge, but overall still making pop music. But yeah, this song is really kind of fun, and the video is kind of fun, and like seeing her kind of just being. She's lonely as hell, and so she has her fake mannequin boyfriend. Who she spent a good amount of money dressing up, because that's all Hood by Air on like Hood by Air is not inexpensive. It's not a cheap brand. Like
no.
So she spent a lot of money dressing up that boyfriend mannequin. So I imagine I know her frustration not getting any feedback. Like, I bought you nice clothes, I treat you nicely. Why don't you talk back to me, you inanimate object? But yeah, overall it's a fun video. It's kind of a cool song.
Yeah.
I'm going to check out more of Kim Bo-kyung's stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see what her style, to explore her style and her music.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, I enjoyed it overall, and now I kind of want to go look at more of her stuff and like see what she has to offer. So like, I'm definitely gonna I'm definitely check her out.
Yes. definitely. But yeah. So what is new with me is a lot of interesting stuff. Some, of course, more new music. But first of all, the return of EXO on crack. There's always a constant stream of different EXO cracks or different boy group crack videos. But I wanted to zero in on one of my favorites. One of my favorite accounts is Swaglicious Puppysaurus. Put out a couple EXO on crack videos. First of all, he or she did with I'm presuming she like he or she did with the Overdose release, an Overdose comeback. They put together an EXO on crack Call Me Baby special. Of course, with the classic intro. It's Call Me Baby special. So many fun moments. So much hilarity. I like
cute.
I like the EXO on crack stuff just because not all the jokes land and not all of them are great. It doesn't bat 100. It doesn't bat 1,000. That's for sure. But it's not a bad 2 minutes to spend. It's not a bad way to spend 2 minutes on the internet. Just divert yourself with some silliness and craziness. We got the Call Me Baby special with some great jokes in there. We also got an official entry into the EXO on Crack series with EXO on Crack 8 with more solid stuff, callbacks to the Wolf moments with the thriller in the beginning. It's just some fun moments. Cass, did you enjoy these new entries into the EXO on Crack lexicon?
I did. They seem to have for them to be from two different uploaders. They seem to have a lot of similar stuff in them.
Well, this is from this is the same series. This is the same uploader. This is Swaglicious Puppysaurus.
Oh, okay. I thought it was two different uploaders. Okay. But yeah, no, it was pretty cute. It was pretty funny. Like the EXO on Crack stuff, like you said, it could be very hit or miss. But I did kind of somewhat enjoy. Like I enjoyed a lot of the making fun of like a lot of the XOM members being gone.
Yes. Like please don't leave me. And Tao crying. It's like oh, we're going fell down. But yeah, there was a lot of like cool like moments. Like the my name is Kaya. So it's just a lot of cuteness. I like it. EXO on Crack, never leave me. Like I could hear you getting hard. But yeah, go ahead and check out EXO on Crack. It's better with sound and and in motion. But moving on to new music releases. Speaking of SM boy groups, we got a new SHINee. We have a whole new album from SHINee with an album cover that looks like it's straight out of like the early 90s alt grunge movement. Have you seen it? Like with that clown toy. But we got accompanying that, we got a new title track, a new promotional track with View. It's a really interesting direction. It's a very interesting direction visually for the group in this video. It is surprisingly down to earth visually. Like it's just them in like t-shirts and like shorts and like partying in LA. I bet, you know what? It's funny. I didn't notice the part where they get kidnapped in the beginning.
Yeah, no, I wanted to talk.
This
about
is my
that,
first viewing. This is my first time I've noticed that part because I always like put it on. I look at to set something else up, and I come back, and they're just hanging out in LA, with people and stuff.
No,
I never noticed that part.
Talk about that because it's very much like they get kidnapped, and then they're just kind of hanging out with their kidnappers because it's cool,
Because it's Stockholm syndrome,
Yeah, and now they're on the run.
Yes. It's Stockholm syndrome, the video. So I knew how there had to be a twist. But But yeah, as far as the song, it's very much like a catchy song. The verses shine like.
Oh yeah, no, I really really enjoyed
Yeah,
the song.
yeah, like
And
is
I
so
kind of
modern.
also enjoyed the like kind of dance that they're doing. Like I
Yeah.
want to watch the dance version of this video because the dance seems really fun and interesting.
Yeah, like it's really well done. It's like has a cool style to it. Like I did notice that the couple of them are looking quite well built, especially your boy Minho.
Yeah.
Minho looking a lot better physically fit than he does on that cover we kept noticing, or I kept noticing at the K-pop booth that I couldn't process.
Yeah, the one you kept like just happening to come across.
And be like, God damn it! It just kept catching my eye. But I'm glad he hit the gym. I'm glad he finally he got around to hitting the gym. But yes. What else did you think about the song and the video?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but like when the more I listened to it, I was just like, holy shit, I really enjoyed this. And like you said, it does have this when you forget about the whole fact that they have been kidnapped and now they are kind of Stockholm syndrome to their captors. It is a very like kind of chill, fun video. Like it's not super over the top, but it's just really chill and nice. Like I liked it.
Like, which is weird for a shiny video. They should be in like elaborate multi-step costumes that shine, and like they need to have like hats or military outfits or some shit like that. Like that doesn't make sense for a shiny video. It almost feels like there's another layer. Like this is all a dream. They're really in this, post-apocalyptic dystopian future or some shit like that. I don't know. It's oddly normal for a shiny video. But moving on to some more new tunes. Zion T, a dude of course we both enjoy. Zion T bringing forth more of the groove with his new track "Eat." Off of his new album, I believe, or mini album. I know all I know is there's a new song called "Eat," and it's more of that like groovy kind of low key, smooth style that we know of Zion T. This is more, at least recently. We know recently of Zion T. It's more of the mellow style that you've gotten from him. We've gotten from him lately, and I really like it. Like the song is cool. Like the lyrics are nice, and like the style of it is cool. The video is interesting from like a cinematography point of view.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of interesting moments that tie into the lyrics and the mood of the song. Like. It just works really well on a couple of different levels. So what do you think, Kaz?
I don't know. I felt the same. Like it's really interesting. The girl in the video is very cute. I'm gonna go ahead and point that out. But I don't know. I kind of like the visualization. I love the kind of. I mean, Zion T is always kind of gonna be out there a little bit because that's just his thing. But like, I just kind of overall did really kind of enjoy the style and feel of the video, like, and then kind of that reveal of him being a phone.
Yeah.
Like is really interesting as well, because I didn't understand it at first, and like I was just like, why is his glasses cracked? Why he's just on the floor in random places? And it's just like, oh, because it's her phone, and she's kind of, when she's mad, she just tosses it somewhere,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I fucking like, there's nothing you can really say that we haven't already said a million times about how much we love Zion T's just style and music and things like that. So
yeah, Zion T. Yeah, go listen to some Zion T. Learn yourself something. Treat yourself. But yeah, finally, last but not least, we have an interesting kind of it's a song that I've talked about before that happened on Unpretty Rap Star, that was made for that, and was performed there. We have Jimin kind of doing a self-produced music video for the show Four Things Show. It's a show on Mnet. I think it's focusing on different artists, which I haven't seen a full episode of. I've only seen clips of.
I've never even heard of this till right now.
Yeah. It's to show that they so far it's like in their 18th episode. I definitely want to check out. It's on Mnet. And it was I guess she produced a music video for her song Puss. And I wanted to have it as a kind of an interesting presentation of that song, which I have to say I kind of enjoy. It's kind of like just the idea of this little girl from like AOA going, she's the motherfucking top madam, but it kind of it works. Yeah, it's a little try hard, but it's fun, and the song is fun, and you kind of just like enjoy it for the hell of it, like enjoy it for like the braggadocious fun that it is. And hearing Jimin say that she's a motherfucking top madam and she's popping bottles and shit like that, like it's kind of fun. And she's and her voice is interesting. Like I think like her biggest strength is how unique her voice is and how she uses it to her advantage and how she kind of owns it. Also, I don't know how I appreciate her stealing our group's word, which is puss puss. That's a kind of a DKG family word, unless I'm mistaken. We call each other puss puss. Well, you want to be a puss puss. That's mainly a Curly thing, I would say. Imagine we've adopted it at some point.
It's kind of like the thing within the world of lingo of kind of DKG things that either me, Curly, or someone else has like put out there. So like that is one of the Curly ones to be like, oh, puss puss, you a puss puss.
You a puss puss. But yeah, what did you think, Kaz?
The video was very much like, you could tell it's like, show up, all right, this is what we got, all right, cool, I could work with this kind of video, like like, all right, put a camera there, put a light there, shit, hey, the dude in the suit, come here, just stand right there while I fucking go through this verse of the song. Like it has a very slapped together feel, but it still came out really well. And like you said, the song is fun. It's a very fun song, and I don't know, it also goes with this thing of just like, first you have Bobby win Show Me the Money, and now you have Jimin win,
win songs on Pretty Rap Stars. Like she won one of the songs.
Like she and she's like the most standout of everyone, right?
Well, her and Jesse,
I'm on Jesse. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fun. Well, in the two people of these two shows who have like kind of taken off from them,
Luckily, I think Cheetah's hopefully getting some recognition. But yeah, go on.
Yeah. No, I would definitely love to see Cheetah get recognition as well. But I don't know. It's just kind of interesting, like, because it's just this very odd thing to think. Like, you wouldn't have thought either one of them were going to win, and they both did. So, in a sense, like Bobby very clearly won, whereas Unpretty Rap Star wasn't necessarily a winner kind of thing, but she is definitely having the best showing of all the girls there. Like in how much this has helped her kind of move up a few levels.
But yeah, those are some of the songs that caught our attention, some of the things that were new. We're going to hop over to our headlines, talk about what's happening in the news and the happenings, some things. So join us, won't you? Howdy, welcome back to our headline segment, where we talk about the topical topics and things going on, some headlines and articles that caught my attention. First of all, 10-year-old girl who wrote a poem about killing mom says adults are idiots is still the best. So we talked about this young girl who kind of put together a poem kind of as a reaction of being sick of how she was being taught, cram schooling and hagwons and things like that. And here's a follow-up. They got her in her interview. I'll read the article. From Asian Junkie, of course, because we love Asian Junkie. The emo queen death metal frontwoman, 10-year-old girl that wrote the poem about killing and eating her mom, gave an interview recently, telling everybody that it was just a poem, so please go away. On May 11th, A had an interview with Jungang Ilbo to give her own thoughts on this issue. She said, "Is it wrong of children to have scarier thoughts than adults? A poem is just a poem, but I think adults who are accepting this as truth find it very cruel." Translation: "Jeez, Mom, it's just a goddamn poem. You're blowing it out of proportion. Get out of my room." Basically. She saw it as I did, ATFP did, which was just a poem to express herself, and she's basically talking down to adults in her statement, like, "Oh yeah, of course the adults are reading it like it was for real or something. So I see how these peons can find it mean." Psh. Unfortunately, she's reconsidering whether she wants to write poetry. When asked about her thoughts on the publication company's retrieval and disposal of the book of poems, A stated, "At first I was not happy, but now I'm okay. However, I do not know if I'll keep writing poems in the future." Great. She's not even mad, she just doesn't want to deal with all your bullshit anymore, and you just lost the future leader of Korean baby metal. Good job, assholes. It's a fun little follow-up from this girl. She sounds kind of awesome. Though it is kind of a bummer to think that she would be put off creative writing because of all this. Because you hate to see somebody who might be into, who might find that as a way to express themselves, be put off the idea of expressing themselves. I don't know. Did you have any thoughts, Kaz?
I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that very much happens when when too much pressure is put on something that shouldn't have been in the first place, right? Like, she kind of, and you can't even say if whether all the bullshit around it caused her to not want to write anymore or whatever, but it very much comes off that way, Like, it very much comes off that, like, I wrote this thing, I put it out there, whether it was this wholehearted futuristic thing of like, this is what I want to do with my life or whatever. Like, we also have to keep in mind the kid is 10, Yeah. Because of the fact that we thought it was really cool and creative and interesting, let's not try to determine the rest of her life for her in saying, oh my God, she could be the next greatest writer of all time, because she took a moment of self-creativity. She's fucking 10. Let her keep going, because it in that sense, it could almost make us just as bad as the people who poo-poo it, We being the upright person and thinking you're taking the right example of being like, this kid needs to now be the world's greatest fucking writer, because her creativity stands, to show how, whatever it is, that you want to take the righteous side for. Like, you can very much push her away from wanting to be creative just as much as the people who are saying what she did was wrong and
kind of like how the overzealous parents putting like their kids into like, say, Little League Baseball. Like when your dad just gets a little too involved, and then you're going on 15, going on every travel league he can get on, you get you on, like, and Little League, and putting on you in camps and like things like that. It could make you just want to quit. There's in fact, a whole article on why, like, why that I found on Facebook, why kids quit sports, and and it's a lot like that. But you also hate to see her get discouraged by this. Either way, this was a fun little kind of like follow up for to kind of see her kind of put adults in their place. Like, y'all adults are dumb, because really adults are dumb. Really.
Yeah, I mean, I view it from both sides that it's very dumb. Like, even from the side that ITFB is taking, where it's just like,
yeah,
you're putting just as much pressure as anyone else by trying to say, like, this is, she needs to stand up for this, da 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 da. Like, what? We need to stand up for it in the sense that we should let creativity be creativity. Even the little girl has said it's creativity for creativity. Her mom has said it's creativity for creativity. That should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
On everybody's front.
Yeah.
Like, we as the people who see it as okay from the beginning shouldn't be setting up marches in the streets about it. And we just also need to tell the other people who are looking at it as some evil, ridiculous, against God kind of thing to also just step back. The people who should matter in this have said it's creativity for creativity. The kid said it's creativity for creativity. The mom said it's creativity for creativity. End of argument.
Yes. But yeah. Good luck, kid. There's a fly attacking me. But moving on.
All right.
This is a really cool little article that caught my attention. Uncovering the underground, the Korean indie rock scene, and the 10 best bands. This is a really cool article. I probably not going to go through all of it. It does kind of make it talks about K-pop and the cultural phenomenon known as K-pop, and it kind of brings out the idea of what could be the conception of Korean music because of it, and then makes a point of saying, well, hey, there's some other stuff, and it does a really good job of explaining kind of where to look for it, what's it about, a little bit like the different moods and the different ways you can encounter it, and some great websites so you can look at, including KoreanIndie.com, doindie.co.kr, Korea Gig Guide, Indie Street, a bunch of cool stuff. All right, let's talk, and then it lists the bands. So let's talk about some of the bands that are here on this list. Jambini, outstanding amalgamation of traditional Korean instrumentation and compositional mean. The collaborative magnum opus with Korean metal mavens vast line is a tour de force. Really cool stuff. It looks like they kind of bridge using gaegums and different styles and rock instruments, and it's really cool.
They also have a MySpace link.
Well, you can't win them all. They do. They cover your bases.
No, I'm just joking. No. MySpace has become this really great place to find interesting music, according to everyone in the world.
Yeah, apparently that's kind of become their thing.
Yeah.
No, I was not clap syncing again. I was trying to get that fly. It's odd time to clap sync. Yeah, MySpace is kind of becoming a music space in that regard. Next one, Asian Chair Shot, a group that I saw live at South by Southwest, a K-pop night out, and I could say from my personal experience and from listening before, they are really cool, odd, really cool, interesting group that, they say post-rock psychedelia, buzz guitar, kind of has a really, especially live, they're, if at all possible, if for all those people that are listening in Korea or are going to Korea, go check out Asian Chair Shot live. If you happen to get lucky and they come to the States at some point soon again, that'd be great. But go check them out. They are really fantastic live. But yeah, they are that kind of the psychedelic, spacey, really cool, odd rock sound that I thoroughly enjoy. Patience. Patience, hybrid punk is the words they start off with. I'm not familiar with the group, but they look interesting.
Yeah. And then, like, before you go on, right, I just want to say that, like, this is something we've been talking about, right? We've been talking about that ideal of finding more interest in the other avenues of Korean music, right? Like, whether it's the kind of more original style of singing, like kind of not original, but the more cultural sides of Korean singing, and kind of these other stylings. And I think at some point that same thing happened in Japanese music, where at first it was kind of all about kind of maybe the J-pop a little bit, or probably more the J-rock a little bit.
Yeah.
And then other people started to find these different stylings, and it kind of went into the J-pop, and now even the J-rap has kind of grown like a lot. And in the kind of Korean music thing, you have standouts of things, like you have standouts like Busker Busker, and standouts of, you know, in the Korean pop music scene and stuff like that. And the Korean rap is really a big thing. And I think now we've started to have the standouts in Korean indie rock and Korean just rock music in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's creating this not void, but taste. Like, people want more of it and people want to find more of it. So that's why a lot of these bands are starting to get this, you know,
like
bigger appeal.
Like the fact that, like, we got 2 indie rock groups at K-pop Night Out and the Barbarettes, which are very, you know, homegrown and grassroots fed group, you know, kind of having their own unique style. And like that, the fact that they were there at K-pop Night Out, like, it's like, this is the K-pop Night Out, and then they do these like, oh well, actually we're gonna go ahead and give you this diverse lineup of music, and they were part of it. It's really looking I'm glad that there is some recognition, especially from magazines like 10 Mag, which is cool. Next up on the list, some people that I've talked about at length on this show and others, and a multitude of others, including, you know, not just record breakers, but I even made sure to bring them up on the A3K podcast the first time I showed up, because I want to shout their name from the rooftops. Love Extereo. Y'all have heard me talk about it on the show, how much I love them, especially the new album. Go check out the new album. It is fantastic. I mean, look at me. I got all the physical copies. You know I'm part of the fandom. I got all the physical copies. So, show Love Extereo some love. Tell them I sent you. Dark Mirrors of Tragedy.
That is just a bad image.
It's a death metal group. I give them a shot. It's an odd image, but you know what? They're on this list, so I'm gonna definitely give them a shot. So you should give them a shot. Dark Mirror of Tragedy, definitely an interesting use of spelling of the word "of," but you got the idea. Billy Carter. As a Congress as you can get, 2 girls and a guy throwing country, blues, rockabilly, and R&R and rock and roll into a cauldron to produce a real down-home stew. It's intriguing. The Geeks. No, not Geeks, the hip-hop duo, but The Geeks. The first Korean punk band to the U.S. and progenitors of Korea's straight-edge scene. They formed in 1999. And been going in strong so well. So they've got a legacy, so definitely go check them out. They're the most popular hardcore band in Korea.
We might have to check them out.
They've been going for a while now, so they've been hustling. Mookie Mook Mansu. Say that 5 times fast. Mookie Mook Mansu. If you can get past the name, this offbeat duo project this offbeat duo project an indie sound reminiscent of Cibo Mato, using only guitar and Korean drums. Again, mixing traditional instruments with new sounds, which is cool. Another cool group I've heard of, and I think I've heard a few of their songs. Rock and Roll Radio. The name kind of says it all. They're rock and roll. They're rock and roll, and they make you dance. And they've played they're South by Southwest veterans. They've played multitude of times. They didn't play this last year, or I would have seen them.
Yeah.
Unless they played on that second night that was on the same night as Japan night. I'll have to see. But another cool group, rock and roll, doing rock and roll music. Check out Rock and Roll Radio. And lastly, Kingston Rudy Ska. Okay. In case you thought Haha and Skull were the only ones obsessed with Jamaican music, Kingston Rudy Ska are a ska-powered nonette formed in 2004, and are probably the most well-known ska band in the country. Many members are accomplished jazz players, which makes sense. And they just blended kind of a cool sound that I'm eager to check out for the sake of our mutual friend Drew, who is a big ska fan. But yeah, check out indie music, people out there. Check out some different sounds, different groups that might catch your attention.
I mean, that's kind of what the whole point in finding music in different regions and different parts of the world. And sometimes you start with a similar sound, Like, I very much started with pop music and moved around the world in my love of pop music and landed in Japan, And from there, I kind of branched out and found other things that had very similar sounds that I ended up loving. And then it made me want to discover things in that appeal that were different, So yeah, I loved Japanese pop music, and then I came across Korean pop music, which is very much reminiscent of American pop music with just a different flavor to it, and it kind of has that Japanese pop feel to it, and it has a very American pop feel to it, but it blends it in a way that I enjoy a lot better most of the time. And then again with Korean rap music, right, it is very reminiscent of this thing that I already know in American rap music and just other rap music from around the world, but I love the blending of it most of the time. I love kind of the silliness, the how it presents itself sometimes. There are other times that I've talked about where I don't so much. Rap Monster.
He's grown.
He's grown.
We've come around on him, I think.
But, that's kind of the thing that you do, right? You take something that you kind of have some appeal for and you see if it exists somewhere else. And then you kind of learn the appeal of how it exists there, why it exists there, what the styling is. And a lot of this stuff you could probably trace back, a lot of these rock groups and things like that, you could probably trace back to something that you already know and already have an appeal for, and then just see how they've twisted it, see how they've made it their own, see what they do with it. I can tell you Asian Chair Shot, really good in the way that they kind of twist and make things their own. The same with Love X Stereo, who, as PD said, he's talked about On Length before, and I'm pretty sure you could find that kind of similar styling in other places, but it just does something for PD that appeals to him, very much so.
Yes.
So there you go.
Go check out some music. That's our directive for you. That's our homework for you. Find something that you haven't heard before. That's our homework. We're handing out homework on this podcast now. All right, moving on to another interesting headline. Yoon Mi-rae and Sony Pictures settled dispute over payday usage in the interview, which is good to know. That lawsuit, remember that lawsuit that Yoon Mi-rae and Feel Good Music filed against Sony Pictures for unauthorized use of payday in the interview? Well, it's just come to an end in the form of a settlement in which Sony Pictures admits wrongdoing. A Sony Pictures representative stated, "We acknowledge that we used Yoon Mi-rae's song Payday before receiving an official license. We want to emphasize that the fact that the track was included does not mean that Yoon Mi-rae, Tiger JK, or Feel Good Music condones the content of the film. Both sides have amicably resolved this matter. so we hope not to have to talk about this issue anymore. It's like, see, what had happened was, besides the money involved, based on the statement, it seems important to them that they weren't associated with the movie at all, which is understandable given the political climate in their region. The fact that the interview was a pretty shitty movie that got hyped up due to other crap. This is cool for Yumi Ray, kind of redemption and not having to be associated with a shitty movie. This is good for Yumi Ray, right? This is good. This is amazing.
At least without getting paid for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. She doesn't have to be associated without having had made the money.
Exactly.
So, there you go.
And now she gets the best of both worlds. She gets money, and she gets to disavow this movie. Win-win.
Win-win for everyone.
Exactly. And now she can party on like it's her payday. Speaking of settlements, court locks Kris Luhan, SM Entertainment, in a room, tells him not to come out until shit is sorted.
I'm sorry. You're serious, huh?
Damn it. I swear to you, I will kill this fly. All right, sorry. Of course, we got an updated, amazing updated to the Battle Royale picture. We're at Battle Royale 10, Age of Old Tau. Of course, is associated with Sully is coming back, bitches. And Team Schadenfreude. Operation Open Window Part 2. Which is fun. Fantastic. Thank you, G-Buster. Are you tired of the drama between former EXO members Kris and Luhan and their former company SM Entertainment? Are you tired of them stretching this out for God knows how long?
Yeah.
Well, the court is too, and they have now ordered them to settle the matter with an arbitrator, or they'll settle it for them. They're going to arbitration, which is really fun for me as a baseball fan. According to the judicial pool on May 18th, the Seoul Central District Court. Let me drink some water real quick. Let me. The Seoul Central District Court ruled and appointed an official arbitrator and is forcing compulsory mediation for the contract nullification lawsuits against SM Entertainment by Kris and Luhan. If a settlement offer is not accepted by the warring party, the Justice Department may take the authority in their own hands and force a reconciliation settlement using the compulsory mediation system. The Justice Department stated that if both parties, Kris and Luhan versus SM Entertainment, both do not voice an objection to this ruling within the next 2 weeks, the compulsory mediation will act as both a settlement and a final ruling. Translation, you are wasting our goddamn time. We know you're going to have at least a half a dozen more of these suits over the next year, so let's get this done with, for fuck's sake.
Oh, we should also mention, right? Total, not sidetrack, but sidetrack, right? A derailment of sorts, right? We did make promises of trying to find the Kris and Luhan jerseys. Yeah. And we tried. We gave it the old college effort. Those things are gone, man.
All the jerseys are gone.
All the jerseys are gone. Now they're all like, well, it's because it's kind of winter time, so it's all, hoodies and and things like that, and jackets, which some of those jackets are pretty cool. But I will definitely say we did ask at the one or two K-pop booths that we found that we saw that had clothing. There was one that did have a Kris. But I think it was a hoodie.
No, we had like a Luhan thing. I know this because it was gonna be. I think we decided I was gonna be the Kris, and you were gonna be Luhan.
Yeah.
Wait, did we? Wait, was I Luhan? I don't know.
Yeah. But we did make an effort. We did want the jerseys. There were other things that we could have gotten, but it was just like I would want a jersey.
Yeah, it's part of the whole bit. It's the bit. I will. All right, so I will say the people that ran that booth, double checked. They're in fact the same people that have the K-pop store 1 county up from me, 1 county north of me. So I could either go there, or I could. There's also Florida SuperCon coming up, and I'm fairly certain they're going to have a booth there. So I can definitely try and get the jerseys there. So I'll updates pending. Stay tuned. Stick tuned. Both Kris and Luhan's attorneys stated to Star News, "We are currently reviewing the compulsory arbitration forwarded to us by the Justice Department. We cannot release any detailed information. SM Entertainment, on the other hand, have not made any comments regarding compulsory. No comment from either side, blah, blah, blah. Thank God I never understood why the courts didn't force action. So please let's just get this over with. And since they're clearly their careers have moved on, EXO have moved on, and Tao is the drama of the moment and has seemingly moved on himself. Lego. Yeah. So they're going into arbitration. Yeah. It seems like we're finally gonna get some closure. Maybe.
No, we won't. No. It's still going to take a while before anything happens, because one, SM is not going to back down. No. And I think with all that is going on and all that has happened at this moment, knowing some things about law, not enough. We'll ask a lawyer at some point, but from my remedial understanding of law, this is still going to take a while. This just means at some point we will have a definitive thing, and a lot sooner than if it was going through kind of the normal justice system. And this is also the Korean justice system, which I have no real understanding of. I'm just kind of piecing together on things that I know and based off the knowledge that I have of the American justice system. So normally when things like this happen and they kind of do the whole, you guys got to mediate it out, and then by law we will say what can stick and what won't, is pretty much what's going on. So a lot of what's going to happen in those rooms are going to be discussions on money, how much of this, how much of that, according to this, according to that, according to what you had said previous, and all these kind of other things. Is kind of the things that are going to happen. So these things are going to happen over the next couple of weeks, most likely. It could almost still take up to a few more years, if not a few more months at the shortest. So there will be something definitive that will come out of this. How much it will stick after it, we won't know, because then it has to become some kind of case law. Generally, once again, more going on the knowledge of the American justice system than the Korean justice system. And, then you have to kind of go from there and see what happens. And for a lot of the people who right now are yelling at their iPods or screen or whatever and going, oh, but what about when this group sued their company and this, that, and the other? A lot of those things never really stuck overall. A lot of those things don't necessarily represent the goings on now with certain things, so it's all
also very so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be taken on a case by case basis, and companies are always going to look for ways around that, of course. And until that wholeheartedly changes, we're going to see these kind of situations happen in the future. Like if anyone remembers, if anyone remembers, we still haven't heard word from a lot of a lot of other groups and people who are in similar situations at this moment, because a lot of these things are happening and a lot of these things have to be backroom deals. A lot of these things have to be mediated out, and then we get to hear about it. You always are going to hear the ramp up, and then you're not going to hear anything while actual mediation is taking place, and then you get the aftermath. Yeah. So right now we're in a pretty good point as far as getting a resolution. Is whether or not we like the resolution that comes from it is what we have to now wait to see.
Yeah. I will throw this idea out there, and we don't have to get in depth in it. I just wanted to throw out the idea that I was thinking of, that I wonder if a lot of these lockups and a lot of these issues could be solved by if, like it is in the States, if in K-pop, if the management agency and the record label were separate, unlike there is in Korea, because like the way it works in the States, you have people that manage your careers, and that's your management agency. And, you have record labels, you have publishing agencies, you have those, and usually those are even more separate amongst themselves, but they are people that record and publish and things like that. Your management agency, their job is to manage your career and represent you and your interests. And their job is your interests, whereas the record labels' job is their interests and their record sales and their money intake. So, but in Korea, they're the same company.
Yeah.
Hence, conflict of interest. Or basically complete control and ability to, like, put you in the situation where you have no alternative but to sign the contract that heavily favors them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I mean, we had that here for a time, we had situations like that, but what happens is, one person sues and says a certain thing and gets a certain president sent, and then that's the president that is set, forever and for everyone. Whereas here, it seems to constantly be handled on a case-by-case basis, even when you kind of get these situations where even the court is like, okay, no, that cannot happen. Like those things can no longer happen. And then it seems some mediation has happened, and instead of 10-year contracts, you get 7-year contracts, instead of, this, you get that. And it's still just as bad, it's still not all that great, but I don't know. It's all a wait and see kind of situation.
7-year contracts that mysteriously get renewed without anybody knowing. But
there's some baseball players and fucking basketball players that would love that. But that's because they have to get paid, though.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's guaranteed money there. There's no money in K-pop contracts. But yeah, moving on to the last little headline. Speaking of groups that had to sell physical copies, buy 2,000 identical CDs to visit hot springs with this idol group. Save them from disbandment. Many Japanese idol groups, such as the mega popular AKB48, package incentives in with their CDs to get fans to buy multiple copies of the exact same thing. In AKB48's case, the group occasionally includes voting ballots within special election singles that allow fans to vote for the member that will be featured most prominently in a new song. Like AKB48, up-and-coming rock idol group Deep Girl is using a system of incentives to encourage fans to buy their debut single, which will be released this summer. However, the group is taking an even more drastic approach by using a tiered system of prizes, along with a very real threat that the group will be instantly disbanded if their song doesn't make it into the Oricon Weekly Top 10. The rock idol unit Deep Girl was formed on the TV show Deep Girl. The group is comprised of 7 female members. They're kind of rocky, whatever. The debut single, also named Surprise Surprise Deep Girl. I wonder if the album's gonna be called Deep Girl. It's gonna be like Bad Company, like Deep Girl with Deep Girl off of Deep Girl. The disc includes the original version of the track plus a karaoke version, the track and the instrumental. Each CD jacket will feature one of the members for a total of 7 different versions. Because that different member versions, because you got to sell them at least 7 copies. Check out the trailer. It's thing. The release of the CD single comes with this very serious stipulation. However, if the group's debut single doesn't reach the Oricon's weekly top 10, the group will be disbanded. As a further incentive, it says buy up as many CDs as possible. Each first press editions of the single will each come bundled with a star-shaped voucher, which can be redeemed for the following prizes. Let's enjoy. Let's look at these prizes. 1 star.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You can participate in a future handshake event with the group. Kind of classic. Just you buy the album, you get to go to the handshake event. That's kind of standard, Pretty cool. 5 stars. Okay, 5 copies of the album. You can take photos with the members at said future handshake event. Okay. 5 to 10 stars. I don't know if it's like you have to if you have to hand in all 8 of your stars, if you only have 8, and I don't know. The group will send a movie message just for you.
Ooh.
30 stars. The group will go to karaoke with all eligible star holders.
Okay.
50 stars. The group will write a letter just for you.
Wait, shouldn't... Okay. No, go ahead. Keep going. I'll work on this later.
Okay. 75 stars. The group will send you a morning wake-up call for 1 week. I imagine,
every day?
Every day for 1 week. I imagine one from each member, because there's 7. 100 stars. The group will hold a photography session with you. You also get to share their homemade cookies. 150 stars. You can participate in an hour-long phone conversation with the members. 300 stars. You can have lunch with a member of your choice, including an ear cleaning. It's a thing. It's a thing in Japan.
Yeah. I know. I think most people who are listening to this now.
Probably, yeah. 500 stars. You can have dinner with a member of your choice, includes an ear cleaning, and taking purikura together. Purikura.
You gotta Google that?
I gotta Google that. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar. Photo booth. Okay. We could have said photo booth. Sheesh.
No, they couldn't. They have to say purikura.
Purikura. All right. 1,000 stars. You can have a day-long date with a member of your choice. If the circumstances work out, it may even culminate with fireworks. I'm thinking they mean literal fireworks. Like you'll have, at the end of the day.
That's what you're thinking. That's not what everyone else is thinking.
2,000 stars. You can go on a hot springs trip together, but be warned, there is no mixed bathing.
No mixed bathing, but there's going to be more fireworks.
Yeah. While Deep Girl is in the first group to try to raise the number of... All right.
I do want to say, there's just one set in here that I have a problem with, right?
Yeah.
If I get to go with them to karaoke, why would I not rather have that than the fucking letter? Like, I think the letter should be 30 and the karaoke should be 50. Just saying. That's me. Don't know about you. Unless it's like a Patreon thing. Do you I wonder if it's like Patreon where
you get
even if you are at 50 stars, you get the things previous as well.
Maybe if you have 80 stars, you can do the 50 and the 30. Or maybe I don't know. Is it 50 you get everything before, or do you use these vouchers for each of these prizes?
Yeah.
I'm starting to think maybe you use these vouchers for each of these prizes. Like, you use the 50 for the letter, and use, maybe you have 55. Use the 50 for the letter and the 5 for the photos at the handshake event.
Maybe.
But it does... Okay, now, the fact that it goes 5 stars, you can take the photos with the members that said future handshake event. That presumes that you're going to be attending the handshake event. So it could be the tiered. I don't know.
We'll have to investigate. We'll buy we'll
buy 2,000 albums.
One album. Yeah, fuck no. Did you look at the preview for this?
No. Yeah. I'm like, no. I'm not even sure I want to buy the one album. Goddamn fifth-rate baby metal wannabes.
All right, hold on. Before we become rude, I'm just gonna say this, right? One, there's a bunch of these girls, none of them are playing instruments, and you can go, hey, none of the girls from Baby Metal play instruments. Two of them are dancers and backup vocals, and then one of them is the main vocalist, and then there's a band, right? So yes, according, like, there's a band in this somewhere behind there, but when you have this many girls, can at least one of them pretend to play a guitar or a bass or something? And then it just looks like a bunch of girls having their own, so I don't, what is the, like,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to see more of it.
We'll have to see.
And like most of them don't even understand how to do the fucking like rock and roll kind of dancey things properly anyway, but whatever.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Yeah. They got that going for them, which is nice. Much luck to them. We'll have to see if they're still together.
It's kind of it's a weird gimmick. It's a very put together group, as if no group in Japan is put together. But like you said, we'll have to kind of see what comes of it.
Well, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll have to see if they're still around in a few months. If they're really serious about just like, you know what, fuck this. You didn't make top 10. You're all disbanded. You're all fired. Which is interesting. J-pop, you so crazy. But yeah, I think that brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Hallyujuku. Kaz, what do you have going on in your neck of the woods? What is going on in your world?
What should be going on is a whirlwind of editing and putting together photos and putting together the photo sets for people that I did, but I laid in bed all day. So I think what I'm going to do when this show ends is, oh shit, I'm going to throw something on the floor. I'm going to throw on this 4-minute CD and listen to 4 minute and edit photos and shit.
Yes. We're gonna do that. Also, in the near future, we're also gonna have a discussion on a random album we grabbed there. I already sent Kaz his copy of the album, and we're gonna listen to it, and we're gonna have a future Hallyujuku talk, so you can have that to keep track of. But yeah.
Also, to all the where the fuck did it go? No, keep going.
Shout out to all the pair.
With all them jealous bitches out there, your boy got the Hyuna card. Yeah, so
I got Jihyun.
You got Jihyun.
I like her. She's cute. I would have liked Hyuna or Jiyun. I would have liked Jiyun. Yeah. But you know what?
There was a great moment. There was a great moment of me watching PD open his and being like, "Oh shit, I wonder what he's gonna get," and then me opening mine and being like, "Well, I know, I better see what I'm gonna fucking get." And that awesome random moment of being like, "Shit, I got Hyuna," and he's like, huh.
Hey, there's no bad member of 4 minutes to get. They're all adorable and fun. There's just the one you really want to get. But yeah, that's it for us. He's at King Kaz.
At King Kaz, about.me/King Kaz.
I'm at PD Rave, about.me/PD Rave. The show is Hallyujuku, kpoppodcast.com, hallyujuku.com, rebelli.net for this and other shows, youtube.com/rebellitv.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Check out this youtube.com/rebellitv for this episode and for future videos, not only of our adventures at ACEN, but One Adventure at ACEN, but the video version of the next episode of Shooting the Shit with Two Nerdy Black Guys, which I'm going to go ahead and work on editing as soon as we're done. But check it out, all on the YouTube page, all the things, watch all the things, subscribe to all the things. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Annyeong.
I think you're crazy.
Fighting.
I'm just gonna play this.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.